Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews online. This time out, I'm bringing to your attention two great new fiction titles that are very highly recommended. The first one is Girl One by Sarah Flannery Murphy. This is published by MCD and it retails for $36.99. This is a very interesting book that the story begins in 1974 at a research facility known as the Homestead. Dr. Joseph Belanger is in charge of the experiments that are going on, and the interesting thing is there are 9 women who are conceived through, no male was involved, and it was like immaculate conceptions. And Girl One is Josephine Morrow, hence the title of the book, Girl One. She begins the process of women who have been given birth to by mothers, and no male was involved. Now, this could revolutionize the world, and Dr. Joseph Belanger is in charge of it all. And the book fast forwards to 1994, where Josephine she hears of a mysterious fire at the facility that kills Dr. Belanger, and one of the girls that was still there, part of the 9 girls. So the interesting thing is someone trying to kill anyone who was associated with this very unusual project. It was very hush-hush, but now word is getting out that 9 women were conceived without any male donors involved, and it can change the world of, they don't need men. So the book is partly futuristic. You could say it's part fantasy, part science fiction, with a tinge of the occult thrown in for good measure, because these women have very interesting powers. They have telekinesis. They can read minds, and they can do things with their abilities. They're almost like superheroes, but it is not a superhero book. But it shows the dynamics of the mother-daughter relationship, how close they can be, and no men were needed. So it is also, in many ways, a social commentary of life and the future. And with everything going on in the world today and the advancements of medicine and technology, something like this may not totally be that unusual. So Girl One is one book that you should definitely seek out on your reading list. The second book of note is Just One Look by Lindsay Cameron. This is published by Ballantine and it retails for $36.99. At the beginning of the book, you might think this is sort of a romantic story and just romance, but it evolves into something that is very dark but very interesting and highly recommended. The book revolves around a girl by the name of Cassie Woodson. She once worked for a prestigious law firm, but she lost her job, and we really don't know why it all happened, but something went down there, and she's a shadow of her former self. She's become sort of reclusive, and she has to work, to make a little bit of money, so she goes to work as a temp at a law firm, and her official position is a large-scale lawsuit fraud technician. So she's looking through these fraudulent cases. And while she's on the computer, she sees some emails from one of the higher-ups in the firm. His name is Forrest Watts. And they're to a woman named Annabelle who, she's obviously his wife. And for some reason, she becomes very, very fixated on Forrest Watts. So Cassie almost becomes a stalker, and she wants to see as much into his life as possible. She also wants to see what Annabelle is all about, what Annabelle wears and her style, and so she starts to copy it, almost like she's cloning her. She doesn't mind spending several $100s on designer outfits just so she can look like Annabelle. And she really doesn't have the money. She's maxed out her credit cards. So there's another co-worker at the place where she works at, and his name is Dalton. And he's pretty well the only person that she talks to. And suddenly one day Dalton doesn't show up, and she hears later that he was found dead. Now it appears he committed suicide, and her mother contacts her, and she doesn't think her son would commit suicide. So it becomes a question of, why is he dead? And does it have anything to do with the law firm, with Cassie, and with Forrest? So it evolves. The story changes from a stalker type book where Cassie is fixated on him, and suddenly she becomes a target. Now I don't want to get into too much detail because that would give away the interesting plot and the ending that you never saw coming. But it is a character study. People who sort of become lonely and reclusive, and they reach out for anything that they can get. Now, Annabelle is an interesting character too, and as we find out, Forrest and Annabelle are not really who they seem. There's sort of interesting plot twists, and like I say, I'm not going to tell you it, but just look for this book, just one look, and you will not be disappointed with the way the book plays out. So those are the two books I wanted to bring to your attention. Definitely worth reading. So as always, I do thank you for your time. I welcome your comments. Keep watching for us on YouTube and the Facebook Shelf Life page. Tell your friends, and we'll see you here real soon. Stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. Thanks again. Bye for now.